So the Sven era gets underway with a win for County, and don't forget how well he started at Manchester City 2 seasons ago. Well, here's the best bits now from League Two.
A new manager, a new experience for Burton Albion. Paul Peschisolido in charge for the club's first ever Football League game in its 59-year history. A tricky opener too, with Shrewsbury one of the favourites for promotion after missing out in May's playoff final. Jake Robinson's goal 10 minutes into his debut signalled the Shropshire club's intent to make it another successful season. And 4 minutes after the break, Shrewsbury stretched their lead. Dave Hibbert on target for the first time in almost a year. Midway through the second half, Burton were back in with a shout. Substitute Greg Pearson had only been on the pitch 5 minutes when he wrote his name into the club's record books, their first Football League scorer. But still time for Joss Labadie to catch out keeper Shane Redmond, who, like his teammates, had learned a lesson or two.
He's a young lad, you know, we got to keep him positive, you know, we're not going to worry too much about his errors, because we'll all make errors throughout the season. It's part and parcel of football.
I wish them all the best now that we've took the 3 points off them today, and you know, history over the last few years has shown that the teams coming out of the conference make a good fist of it in the League Two, and I'm quite sure that they'll do the same.
Bournemouth produced one of the results of the day at Bury. Last season's top scorer Brett Pittman celebrated signing a new 3-year contract by setting them on their way with this superb 17th minute opener. Bury won 14 home matches last season, more than any other team in League Two, as they just missed out on automatic promotion. But they were always up against it once 37-year-old Steve Fletcher headed home his 93rd league goal for the Cherries 6 minutes from half-time. And the points were sealed 5 minutes after the break when Mark Molesley powered home an angled shot from 25 yards out. Last season, the Cherries began facing a 17-point deficit. This year, they could be one of the division's surprise packages.
Darlington only came out of administration on Friday, but their on-field fortunes show no sign of improving just yet. Only 3 minutes gone when Marvin Morgan gave Aldershot the lead. And on the half-hour, Darlow's plight worsened as keeper David Knight presented Andrew Sandell with an opportunity not to be missed. The shots were rarely threatened, but did survive one big scare. Jeff Smith's effort ruled out for a foul in the build-up. Just 2 minutes into the second half, there was definitely no more hope for the Northern club. Louis Soares defying the tight angle to put the game out of reach. Darlington could at least claim the best goal of the match. Some tidy football allowing David Dowson to provide some small consolation for the 200 ultra-loyal fans who travelled.
Martin Allen's Cheltenham Town had to come from behind to beat Grimsby at Whaddon Road, although the visitors can lay claim to scoring the best team goal of the day. An 8-pass move culminating in Barry Conlon's close-range tap-in. Echoes of Argentina in the last World Cup. Well, if you use your imagination. The Robins levelled 11 minutes after the break, and it came from an unlikely source. Left-back Lee Ridley, of all people, firing home his first goal for the club. His first goal for anybody in nearly 4 years, for that matter. The winner was rather more conventional. 37-year-old Barry Hales has carved out a pretty good career for himself with finishes like this. Cheltenham's League Two campaign off to a great start.
John Nurse did nothing for the well-being of the Crewe defence with a spectacular volley to give Dagenham and Redbridge the lead at Gresty Road. Crewe's equaliser wasn't bad either. Byron Moore helping them to adjust to their first season in the bottom tier for 15 years. But Dagenham were one of the most improved sides in League Two last term, and keeping top scorer Paul Benson has been a huge bonus. He was straight back in the groove with the winner.
An entertaining match at Christie Park saw visitors Hereford draw first blood on 39 minutes. A confident low shot from Mark Pugh breaking the deadlock. But the Shrimps responded well, and just 4 minutes later they were level. Craig Stanley would have enjoyed this one against his former club. And the home side maintained their momentum in the second half. Stuart Drummond giving them the lead with a powerful far post header from Mark Duffy's cross. But in the final minute, Pugh levelled things up with his second of the match. Hereford fans no doubt delighted that he's made last season's loan deal permanent.
Torquay's return to the league after a 2-year absence was marked with an eye-catching opener. Danny Stevens surged into the box and a neat 1-2 with Nicky Rowe teed up Scott Rendell. Off the mark just 15 minutes into his debut on loan from Peterborough. Last season, Rendell's 15 goals for Cambridge United helped them to the Blue Square Premier Playoff final, where they were pipped to promotion by Torquay, who on this evidence can look forward to an enjoyable season. Lee Mansell's header had them firmly in control 19 minutes from time. Not that it was all one-way traffic. Chesterfield's performance was bright and lively in spite of a scoreline. They just didn't...
Minute lead, courtesy of a powerful header at the back post from Joe Thompson. That woke the home side up, but their equaliser came in controversial circumstances. Nathan Stanton was adjudged to have handled James Laurie's cross by the referee's assistant. And from the resulting spot kick, Mark Richards, Vale's top scorer last season, made no mistake. The result just about right.
Barnet struggled last season, but started brightly enough this time around at sunny Sincil Bank. On loan, Plymouth midfielder Yannick Balassi brought the best out of Lincoln keeper Robert Birch. Ultimately, though, one goal was enough. Defender Janis Kovac cursing the woodwork one moment, but thankful for it the next. His second attempt in off the post to break Barnet's resistance just before the hour, and there was no way back for the Londoners.
Rotherham start the new season as one of the favourites for promotion. Perhaps that pressure of expectation helps explain a nervous-looking opening against Accrington Stanley. Keeper Andy Warrington sparing the blushes of his defenders here with a smart save from Stanley's Jimmy Ryan. With time running out, Rotherham launched one last attack. And after some head tennis in the penalty area, Ian Sharps thought he'd broken the deadlock with a stinging volley, only for the woodwork to intervene. The visitors failed to clear and the ball fell to Paul Warne, back with the Millers after leaving them 4 years ago. A cool finish, producing an 89th minute winner. After last season's points deduction, Mark Robins' men are already 17 points better off than this time last year.
Northampton have revamped their side since relegation. 5 debutants in the starting lineup against Macclesfield. Dean Beckwith almost drew first blood. It was a match packed with close shaves. Keith Alexander's side just as close to breaking the deadlock through Sean Brisley. And while Northampton was still on the back foot, Colin Daniel managed to clip the woodwork too. They obviously weren't short of confidence. How about this in the second half from Rooney? Not Wayne, but his brother John, trying to make a name for himself. Just as it seemed the game was sure to finish goalless, a golden chance in stoppage time for Steve Guinan, who's had a long and successful career finding the net, but couldn't this time.